Hi, I'm Megan. This is my husband Billy. We met on eHarmony. These are our children, Michael and Lydia. And these are my siblings, Jacob and Zoe. We aren't your typical family, but together we have lots of fun. So today, in the story, what God has taught me, I wanted to talk about Brandon's angel. So, unless you really know me, you don't know the story. So, back when I was 18, there was a student that I taught at a preschool. So, at the preschool that I worked at, I was like the early morning teacher before the school started. You know, parents who worked would drop their children off. And then I did things like enrichment, music. We did, I did the Bible stories, things like that, different, and then I was like this assistant for the teachers and just all kinds of things. Anyway, my job kind of changed throughout whatever their needs were. And substitute teacher. One of the little boys that we had was, he was 4. And I was getting ready to go to Missouri for school for like just a semester. And right before I left, my neighbor, who actually was the assistant director, had come over, and I was laughing at my sister because she had taken the step off, like just totally. It was like a flare step thing on. Anyway, I don't know, flare. And she had totally ripped it off right off the truck. And I was laughing at her because now she had to go with one flare and one non-flare. Anyway, I was laughing at her. Well, everything changed really quickly when I was told that Brandon had died. And I remember just being so in awe over what had happened and the shock of what had happened, and just not knowing like what to do. And I just remember being like, wow. I remember going up to the school to talk to them, like talk to the director and stuff, and just really not knowing what to do. It was just like, no one ever thinks that, oh yes, you know, a 4-year-old is gonna die. There was some confusion and misunderstanding, and finally at the funeral we learned the full story, and I just don't want to talk about it. Anyway, it was an accident. Accidents happen. You never think it's going to happen to you, and it does. So the funeral was the hardest. I had been to a friend's funeral who died at 12, and so to die at 12 was hard to process that. Knowing like that person's your age, or that person was your age. 4 is just insane, especially just a blink of a moment he was gone. Like, so after he died, it was a hard transition because like right after I left to go to Missouri, I still was mourning his loss, and it was a process that was hard to imagine, to understand. And whenever I got back, I want to say it was a couple months later, I got this email. And if anybody's not familiar, in the city of Houston, they have like a online book when someone's their death is put in the paper, you can then, write, there's like a guest book that you can write things in, and then, somebody can buy that, and then the newspaper will send it to the family. Well, I don't know if, I think it had to do with that. Somehow, my email or whatever had gotten listed. And I got an email from his mom. And I kind of wrote in there, you know, that yes, I had gone to visit him. I usually went during the holidays and stuff like that. I would go visit and I would leave something behind the night where I decorated or whatever. And I did this quite a bit. And one day we went out there and we talked, and it was like the most special talk in the world, because she talked about how Brandon knew he was gonna die, that God sent Brandon an angel, and the angel told him not to be afraid, that he was gonna go to heaven and that his family would be okay. And I remember thinking to myself, this is so crazy. But yet, it made the most sense. Now, not everybody gets visited by angels. Some people may not even realize it's their angel that's visiting them. Yet, I feel like it was amazing. It was God's way of saying he's okay. And I remember hearing this story, and they had said that it was their son that shared a room with Brandon that had told them that he had saw the angel too, and that the angel would talk to Brandon at night and had prepared Brandon to go to heaven. And it was the pure innocence of a child that was the one that could tell us grown-ups something that seems so insane but so true. And when he died, that was the biggest blessing, was to hear his brother say Brandon knew, and the angel told him it was okay and that everyone would be okay. And that taught me to cherish life, to love everyone, to believe in things that seem impossible, that people may say we need science to understand, but to believe like an innocent child, to believe that we're gonna be okay. Even in the worst situations, God's there. He's looking out for us, and he loves us, and he wants what's best for us. And that was a huge moment for me, for everyone to know that he knew and he's okay. And little messages like that, I feel like God does. He uses the innocent to show us that you're okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to mourn. It's okay to be angry. And to know that we're going to be okay, and that he's okay. And I'm very thankful that God sent that angel, and that Brandon's brother would see that angel and know that his brother's okay. His brother's safe. His brother's loved. And that we're going to be okay. And one day we're going to see Brandon again. And it's going to be a joyous moment. And through all of this pain and confusion and misunderstanding and not being able to understand, we're going to be okay. And there's light at the end of the tunnel, and God's there, and he's ready to wrap his arms around us anytime. So with that said, there's so many lessons in that one story for my life. And again, God was present, and I know he was there, and I know that he wanted us to hear that story. So thank you guys for everything. Thank you for listening. If you have any of those God moments that you want to share, please link them down below. If you're uncomfortable doing that, you can always email me and just put in the subject what God taught me. I would love to hear about them, because honestly, guys, we can't do this life alone. And I feel like if more people talked about their God moments, that would be huge, and we could change the world. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!